Kart guy here. We're back at you with a new quad we're adding to the family. This one we're going to keep instead of fixing up to sell. It is a 2004. Well, let me make sure here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It is indeed a 2004 Suuzki LTZ400. Paid $1,000 for it. The kid said that he put a new stator in it, got it running, and seen the head was leaking oil out of it, and he took it back apart to figure out later on that the cam cover was broke inside the head. That's not why it was leaking oil, but he found that out while he was in there, and this is where it sits. So we're going to do something a little different. We're going to show you guys how I get them. Do a little video of going through it. I haven't went through it yet. Let's push this under here and get it in the air a little bit. That is 100% for sure an aftermarket jug. You can tell the color of that jug's a cheap nickel plated, or it's got some, it's nickel with something, I don't know. Just the way that collar is, you can tell that jug's an aftermarket. Not necessarily a cheap one, but it probably is. The steel looks good there, it's just plated with something, which tells you it is a aftermarket. So far what I see I'm going to need is the left plastic, or I mean the right plastic. This one looks good. The right plastic is missing, so we'll go ahead and start making a list as well. Plastic. Alright, we got that so far. No, I'm just shaking the shit out of the camera. Tried something new here. I got it in the garage door. This smell is killing me. I don't know if a bug or something crawled in my heater, or if it's the heater itself. But it don't smell right. Okay, let's look this over good. The tires are in decent shape for once when we finally pick something up. I think $1,000 was a good deal for this. Real good deal. Because, you know, we like working on them anyway, so. Okay, I do have everything, I think. The exhaust is over there. So we are going to need the foot plastic and the metal. This must be reverse. I didn't know these had reverse. I've never owned an LTZ400. I don't think I've even ridden one. Definitely had plenty of the 250 quad sports. An 88, 2005, same year as this. I do love these rear swing arms. I always love this aluminum swing arm design. Pretty lightweight quad. Well, let's put you on the stand here and go through the box. And kid was a real decent kid, so I'm sure he's telling the truth, you know. You do find those decent people on Marketplace. He was a young buck, but he was pretty nice and seemed to be reasonable. Like to see the quad running, he said, and we like to get them running. We like to see them running again so they don't be forgotten about. How do you take the seat off of this? Just going back over here in a minute, we're going to look at the, we do got the carb, the rubber boot. I'll take the carb off, clean it. See if I can rotate the engine by the cam chain, timing chain. The piston did move. That's good. Piston looks brand new. Like I said, somebody changed the top end on this. So timing chain is still good. Still hooked up to the bottom end. This brake lever's bent. There we go. Got it out of the side of the engine there. The brake lever was bent and pushing into the engine. How much battery we got left? Is it full? So this lever was actually into the side case there, and it's not hooked up to the brake light anymore. We are going to need a tail light. Write that down. I think the brakes work. Do they work? Okay, the brakes work. Yeah. It was just into the I think he said something about the brakes. I think it was just into the case. So we need a whole tail light. Whole tail light assembly. We're going to go ahead and leave these tires on it. They're somewhat, they're really decent, really. Are they all ITPs? Don't look like the fronts are. Quad Boss. So I've never seen Quad Boss before. Looks like we could tighten up our axle nut there. Ooh. Okay, so what we need here, wheel bearings. This wheel's locked up. It's the brake, or it's that wheel bearing. So let's go ahead and put front wheel bearings on the list. Even if that ain't bad, it looks like it's going to be. Front. Wheel. I write better than this. It's just too far up for me. Hurt my neck. Front wheel bearings. Alright, let's close this garage door. We'll need to... Can't speak today, folks. Whatever's in here is choking me. I think a bug crawled in my freaking heater and got burned up. Something smells like plastic or something. I'll turn it off. Thing's been a good heater. I burn about 60 gallons of diesel through it. So we're going to need the spring that goes from here to here for the sensor. I'll have one. And we'll have to free up the sensor. These things usually lock up, rust themselves in there. But the sensors usually are still good themselves. Got some stuff in there. Wow. Somebody's been saving that stuff for years. We don't want to stir up too much dirt with that top end off. I may pull the whole engine out. Maybe not. I might go ahead and put it together and see if it has spark. I'd like to take the whole engine out and just go through it, you know, like I always like to do. We need to order up an oil filter. I don't know when the last time it was. Kid changed the stator, so he said. I believe him. That cover hasn't been off. This is where our stator would be. And it does look like it has a fresh gasket. I was kind of trying to compare the sides. So he probably did change out the stator, I hope. Boy, that is not sitting down on there. It acts like it don't want to move. Well, it moved up. That's good. We'll take that jug off, and we're going to probably... I might pull this engine out and give it a good look over. So, this ain't good. That's not good. This goes to the swing arm. We're going to need to order up a chain probably. Chain can be an option. We'll probably go ahead and get one. See how bad them pads are. It's gonna need brakes all around it. Brakes, chain, oil filter. Write all that down. Chain, / drive, oil filter, spark plug. Let's see what the filter looks like. It looks alright, and I don't want to spend money willingly on this. We don't know anything about this. I mean, it's going to run, no doubt, but we may need to drop a lot of money on something else right now. Okay, so far, that's how far we've got. Not much oil. Back to looking at this swing nut. Somebody replaced those engine mounts. That bolt's not big enough. Alright, we need the front engine mount bolt. This is why we go over them. We want this built properly. If you guys look at that nut is barely catching, and the lock washer for sure ain't catching. So we need a front engine mount bolt. And I don't blame the kid for this at all. You know, he got this. I think he said he got it for free. I'm not sure. But either way, you know, he got it, and you know, I don't know that he did it. Could have been the guy before him. Plus $1,000 is still a pretty good deal for one of these. The roller looks somewhat good still. Yeah, it looks all right. So this nut though, or this swing arm bolt, does not have a nut on it. We might order a new swing arm nut. Let's get a front engine bolt. Front engine mount. Bolt, swing arm bolt. I knew there was going to be a lot of stuff, but that's what happens when you buy a $1,000 quad. It needs parts, of course. It's not going to be running. Not a decent LTZ, you know. Okay, yeah, because see, this doesn't even have a nut on it. They just flattened it out there. So what we'll do is we'll take the angle grinder in here, and if we can get it in there and cut that off, back it out, put a new one in there. Should have one holding the bottom of the engine somewhere. It looks like a TPS sensor. Well, that looks just like a TPS sensor. Okay, and just as I suspected, the other bolts are missing. We'll see what we got in the box over here too, but seeing as how that one's too short and this one's mushroomed to hold it on, I'm going to say that the bolt's missing. That's why I figured the bottom one's missing too. We'll see the head. The head might have one. So the head bolt might be missing that holds it on there too. The exhaust is in great shape. Looks good. I like that. We'll polish that up a little bit. So the bottom engine mount bolt. I can't believe I wore my coveralls in here. Burn it up. Bottom engine mount bolt. Alright, let's see what we got over in the goodies box. That's another look at the quad here. I should have washed it first, but the engine's exposed. But I think it's going to clean up real good. Got the seat sitting on there. It's the underneath. It's where the oh, that's why the goodies are hanging down. The goodies must go back here. right here probably. I'll have to look. Like I said, never worked on an LTZ. All the bolts are missing to the plastic, so let's order up a bolt plastic. You can get those kits sometimes for 20 bucks. It has all the miscellaneous bolts. Plastics. Bolt. Kit. Alright, to the table, the part that it really needs. Part of the kid said it needed. A young buck. Alright. This is our airbox lid, which we do have the airbox in here. We got the clips. A filter that's somewhat good shape. So we'll set this over here. Let's lay out these parts and see what we got going on here. Said he had an extra one because it was leaking oil. This one does not say magnesium on it, and most of them do, like my Suuzki 700. So that's really weird. This one doesn't even have the right markings in it. This one's heavy. This isn't magnesium. This is steel. It's not steel. It's cast or something. It's not magnesium. Alright, we got two valve covers. That must be the top engine mount bolt. It's gotta be the top engine mount. Okay, yeah, it's the top engine mount. This goes for the top engine. Alright. Looks like we got some head bolts. Left side. Oh, organized, eh? Oh. Okay. Now these are going to be for the valve cover. These are the washers. We got some of these already. These are the same ones that's on the Suuzki King Quad. Well, did it only take two? Well, no wonder it freaking leaks. Takes that third one, but that ain't much. My guess is it was because it was missing the piece of metal. So they have to have this metal and then the rubber. This is this fold, I think. So these are kind of in shoddy shape. We'll order those valve cover bolt seals. We'll add that to the list. Alright, got us an exhaust clamp. Spark plug boot. Since that's already off, we'll probably just go ahead and put a MSD one on there. Yeah, that's not good if they was pulling it down like that. Hopefully we got that dowel. Alright, so we may need one dowel. Make sure it's not in the box. Could be stuck in the bottom of the head here. He did give me a new gasket kit. Moose Racing, sweet. We'll definitely use that. Alright. It's the old head gasket. Let's take a look at it. Make sure there's looks like we got a little problem there. But no actual leak across the head gasket. That's probably just from heat. And then when he took it apart, it stuck to it. This is a dead cricket that came out of the box. Jiminy cricket. Alright, so we got this. We're looking for a dowel. And the dowel is stuck in the bottom here. Get that guy out. Put him in the engine so we don't lose it. Okay, that's not good at all. It doesn't want to move. That's not good at all. Make some room here. Okay, that's the broken. Put our gasket in here. Bolts, head, that. Here we got the intake and 3 screws. Looks as though if it works. Head looks okay. Valves definitely need. We'll clean all this up. Okay, now let's get back to this head and finally see what we really need here. Let's just sit these cams in. This is the exhaust cam, and you can look real easy. That's your exhaust port. So it's going to have to sit here. These ones actually have oil hole locations. The oil come out. The cams look great. Okay. Let's check because these are 100 a piece. Oh, this one looks fine. This one looks real fine. The intake is good. Good. I do have both dowels for the intake, but only 3 bolts. So we're going to have to order a bolt. So what we'll do is we'll just count how many screws we got and run a screw in every hole. So that's good. We're missing 1 screw for the intake. Looks like we need to order up 3 for the exhaust. Those aren't the right ones at all. So, oh, right here, right here. These are right outside bolts. I don't know what that means. He did try to take good inventory here. See, I don't do this. I just take stuff off and lay it to the side. That's the great thing about knowing when you take something off and having a real good memory of it. Let's dump this out, see what we got here. We got our broken exhaust. It's no wonder they break. Look at it. Alright, so we'll order one of these up. Looks like, yeah, somebody broke the bolt off in there. So you got it fixed. Let's run these in. Looks like I'm going to need 5 bolts. 5 5 of these bolts. So 5 bolts, 4 for the exhaust, 2 for the intake. I might just go ahead and order all the new bolts for this. I think 2 of them, if I remember right, 2 of them was different than the others. We don't want to start it with the drill, but we do want to run it to length. Start by hand. So what we're doing, we're just making sure the holes, he said he had them retapped, he said he had the holes redone, so they was retapped. I'm just making sure they was done properly and they're good. Alright. Head bolts are good. So we need an exhaust cam cap. Alright, the head's good. I think what it is yeah, I think some of them are longer. So when we get on the website, I may just order all these new bolts up, because I'm not sure that I got the right lengths, just to make sure it's all got the right lengths and everything. We'll go down and we'll do a workup on what we need, and I'll let you know. I'll put that in the video too. We'll put in the workup how much it's going to cost us to do this. I'm just going to guess around 500 in parts, and that's buying excessive parts, you know, to make it perfect. Stuff I didn't really have to buy. The only thing that was necessary was the cam cover and the bolts, really. Maybe a few other things I'm not thinking of right now, but I'm trying to figure out what this sludge is down here. Alright, one other thing we do before we go put the CVT belt on my new side-by-side is, it's not a new side-by-side, it's my sister's old Easy Go side-by-side, ST 4x4.